Hello everyone, this is Mr. Lawback. In this video, I want to go over the structure of the Constitution. So what the Constitution looks like, the different parts of the Constitution, and the purpose of the Constitution. I'm not going to analyze anything about the Constitution. I'm just going to tell you about how it reads. So the Constitution is divided into three main parts. The first part is the Preamble, which is the statement of purpose. The second part, the body, the articles. There are a total of 7 articles. As you can see, Article 1 is about the legislative branch. Article 2 is about the executive branch. Article 3 is about the judicial branch. Article 4 is about the relations among the states. Article 5 is about the amendment process. Article 6 outlines federal power. And Article 7 outlines the ratification process. The third part is the amendments. There are a total of 27 amendments now. The first 10 amendments are called the Bill of Rights. Remember, when the framers left the Constitutional Convention in 1787 in Philadelphia, there was no Bill of Rights on the Constitution. It was added later in the very early 1790s. So let's first talk about the preamble. The preamble is the short opening paragraph. It's the introduction of the Constitution. It begins with "We the people." It outlines popular sovereignty. So "We the people" states that the people give the government the consent to govern. Think of John Locke and the social contract theory. Remember, the framers were very influenced by him and Enlightenment thinkers. The preamble is a very short paragraph, and it lists 6 goals of the Constitution. So the first part of the preamble calls for a more perfect union, so a better, more unified nation than did exist under the Articles of Confederation. The second part established justice, so fairness, equality under the law. We know that our nation struggles with this a lot, but that was one of the goals set forth in the preamble. Ensure domestic tranquility, so peace within the country. This would be police departments to make sure our property is protected, that we are safe, that our homes are protected. Provide for the common defense. This is to protect us from outside attack from other countries. This would be the military. Promote the general welfare, to make sure that everything in our nation is good and safe. So in other words, safe drinking water, our roads are safe, our communities are safe, protecting us from the pandemic. So general welfare is that broad concept that we are kept safe and our welfare is protected. Secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity. So not only do we have freedom and liberty, but the Constitution will maintain it and hold it in place for future generations. So there's nothing legally binding in the preamble. The preamble is 6 goals for the Constitution and for our government. So let's go over each of the 7 articles. Article 1 is about the legislative branch or Congress. The framers thought that Congress would be the most important of the 3 branches of government. So in Article 1, the qualifications to run for each house, remember we have a bicameral legislature, meaning a House and a Senate. Term lengths, so a House member serves for 2 years and a senator serves for 6 years, and there are no term limits. The powers of Congress as a whole, in Section 8 of Article 1, there are a list of congressional powers, things that Congress can do. Also, the powers denied to Congress, and the powers of each of the chambers. Also in Article 1 is the necessary and proper clause. The powers of Congress, besides the ones listed, are also given to Congress. This is also referred to as the elastic clause. Article 2 is about the executive branch, the qualifications to run and be president of the United States, the powers of the president, the responsibilities of the president, and the presidential oath of office. Also, the details about the presidential cabinet and the vice president are articulated in Article 2. Article 3 is about the judicial branch or the courts. Article 3 establishes the Supreme Court. All other lower courts are established by Congress. They also outline the term length of Supreme Court justices, which is a life term, as long as they have, quote, good behavior. It also outlines federal jurisdiction. So remember, we have a dual court system here in the United States. There is a federal court system and a state court system. Article 3 of the U.S. Constitution sets the basic framework for federal jurisdiction. Article 4 defines the relationship between the states. An example of this is the full faith and credit clause. States will honor each other's laws and contracts. So you might remember that under the Articles of Confederation, a big problem was that the states were in conflict and were not recognizing each other's laws. So under the full faith and credit clause, your driver's license, a marriage license, your birth certificate, they must be accepted by other states. Article 4 also prevents states from drawing unreasonable distinctions between their residents and the residents of other states. Article 5 defines how an amendment can be made to the Constitution. There are a total of 4 ways. The first part that is outlined, step 1, is how an amendment is proposed, and then step 2, how an amendment is ratified. Again, there are a total of 4 ways. Article 6 defines the power of the federal government. In the Supremacy Clause, the Constitution is the supreme law of the land. If a state law and a federal law conflict, the federal law is supreme. Also, the oath of office is outlined in Article 6. Article 7 is the ratification process. So, after the framers left Philadelphia in 1787, the Constitution went back to the state legislatures, and it had to be ratified or passed into law. Now, Article 7 says that only 9 states need to ratify the Constitution in order for it to take effect. But we know that all 13 states, in a period of about 2 years, ratified, and in 1789, the Constitution became the law of the land. So, in summary, the Preamble states the purpose of the Constitution. Article 1 creates the legislative branch. Article 2 creates the executive branch. Article 3, the judicial branch. Article 4 talks about the relations among the states. Article 5 is the process of amending the Constitution. Article 6 talks about supremacy of national law, and the oath of office is detailed there. And Article 7 explains the ratification process of the Constitution. Now, I did not talk about the amendments to the Constitution. I will make another video and go over the Bill of Rights and the remaining amendments.